Hello, everybody. So I was reading through the Bible, and I usually go on these walks, and I was trying to meditate on the faith of Abraham. So I just wanted to sort of run through the perspective of Abraham going through his journey with God. Um, he's told to leave his father's house, Terah, and go to a different land, and then he just does it. He just does it. Like this big life decision that we like stress out and think about. God tells him to go do it, and he's drawn out. And then not only that, his nephew Lot gets captured, and he's built up his house, and he takes all of his servants, and he goes and he fights these kings to defend and protect and save Lot. And he actually gives the wealth that he gets from this conquest away so that he can say that only the Lord helped him. He went and did this dangerous task. Like any one of us probably would have just taken the money after this conquest, but no. He said, just so nobody else can says they had anything to do with me, you guys take the money, I'll take my nephew, and we'll move on. And then on top of that, he gets promised his son Isaac. Uh, but he's kind of looks at it a little weirdly because he's old. He's like, I'm almost 100 years old. You're going to give me a child? And this is the one thing where we look at where he kind of falters, where Sarah goes and gets her maidservant Hagar to go sleep with Abraham. And they do. And they conceive a child named Ishmael. And now Abraham loves Ishmael and as a son, as a full son. But later on, God fulfills his promise, and Sarah herself then bears Isaac. And what we find is that now Sarah and Hagar are now at heads because of this thing. Even though Sarah made Hagar sleep with Abraham, Sarah and Hagar are now at odds because now they both have their own children, and they're both almost competing for the same husband. Um, if they have just trusted God, none of this would have happened. And so eventually God tells Abraham to kick out Hagar and Ishmael, and Abraham does it in full faith. Now, this must be heartbreaking for Abraham because what I read from the Bible, Abraham cares about Ishmael. And when he does that, he fully does that, and God goes to Hagar or sends an angel, a messenger on his behalf, and says, Hagar, you're going to be all right. Not only that, I'm going to bless your children. And so Abraham takes this other family he created, pushes them out, but God takes care of them and blesses them and says, your son will be a mighty man. And so ultimately, even Hagar says, like, the Lord sees me. In this moment of desperation and need, the Lord provides for Hagar and Ishmael. And Abraham, what he has done in full faith, is essentially keep Sarah and Isaac. And then the Lord himself then appoints Abraham to then go and sacrifice Isaac on the mountain. And what Abraham says about the sacrifice when questioned by Isaac is that the Lord will provide. And so when they go to the top of the mountain, the Lord sends an angel to stop Abraham and then provides the sacrifice. So you have to imagine, okay, you leave your father's house, then you go and fight this epic battle, and then have to go and kick out this son that you made, but you just have to trust God that he'll take care of it. And he does. And then on top of that, then your leftover son, the Lord asks you to sacrifice. And in full faith, you go up to that mountain, and the Lord provides you an out. And so when Abraham was asked to give his son Isaac, we have to remember that God gives himself in Jesus Christ. Jesus is the Son of God who is God the Son. So not only does God send out his son to sacrifice himself for us, God is also sending himself on the cross for us. You know, He's going the extra step, which he made Abraham pull back from. God is fully giving. And so, as God fully gave his son, we are to fully give ourselves in faith, as Abraham gave himself to God and held nothing back, held not even his own land, his own connection with his dad, his own son and maidservant, and even when it was his other, the only son he has a connection with after kicking out Hagar, which is Isaac, he fully gives him as well. And so God makes that promise of Abraham that his descendants will be many, and that all the nations will be blessed through him, and that he shall be a father of nations, and that through the sacrifice of Jesus we become children of God through the spirit of adoption. For God gave his blood on the cross through Abraham's bloodline. And so I want to think about the concept of, like playing poker. I don't think I should have done it, but I did it. Um, imagine selling everything you own, putting all the money you have, putting it on the poker table, and going all in on the first hand. That is the work of faith. That is what it is to put yourself fully into God as He puts Himself into you when you believe in Jesus Christ. And so we have to remember the Lord does not hold His hand back from us, He fully gives. And so we must fully give to Lord in faith and in this work, whether it be battles or sacrifices or waitings or doubts or fears. We must remember to have faith. And uh, it pretty much just boils down to this. Step one, have faith. Step two, if you have doubts, repeat step one and just keep pushing, just keep going. Um, so I just want to say God bless y'all. Keep the faith, have faith, and good night.